Hey, what's going on, guys? So for today's video, I'm going to be watching The Shape of Water. Rewatching. I watched this movie back, I forget what year it came out, but I watched it when it was in theaters, and I didn't love it. I think it's highly overrated, but I want to rewatch it and give it a second chance because I know so many people love it, and I really, really want to love it. So I hope I come out of this rewatch a new person, baptized in water. That was a dumb joke. Don't laugh at that. But yeah. So I'll check back with you after the movie.
2 hours later.
All right. So this is me after the movie. First thoughts. I don't think it's that overrated anymore. I don't think it's a perfect movie. I don't think it's this masterpiece that people were making it out to be. But upon rewatching it, I can definitely see why people really, really dug this movie. I dug it a little bit more than I thought I would. The first time that I saw it, I just had little problems here and there. Most of the problems are with the whole relationship between the girl and the creature from the Black Lagoon. I get where they were going, or I get like what kind of stuff they're going for with the whole like love is love, and you shouldn't judge people who they love, or whatever, like that kind of stuff. I get that, but I just I didn't think that they fully realized that idea in a way where I just found it kind of odd. Where I liked the idea of her having a friendship with him more so than her having like an actual relationship where they fall in love. I felt like that was kind of not really a cop out, but it just, I don't know. I didn't think that they, or Guillermo del Toro, like, I don't think that he wrote it. I don't want to say the best way that he could, because I think he's a fantastic writer and he's a fantastic director. And this movie is gorgeously shot. I mean, I think that's one of the great things about this movie is that it's directed extremely well and it's colorful and everything, to the point where it is so colorful and the soundtrack is so lighthearted that you forget that you're watching a rated R movie. And then every once in a while something will happen and you're like, yep, that was definitely a rated R. This is not PG-13. Anyway, what was I talking about? But yeah, so like the whole relationship, I still don't fully 100% love, but it is an interesting concept that I do appreciate him going for it. Guillermo del Toro, I appreciate him going for this kind of weird, really kind of divisive. You would think it'd be more divisive than it actually is, but it has like a 95% rating on Rotten Tomatoes right now. Not that I completely agree with everything that Rotten Tomatoes does, but whatever. But yeah, I can safely say that I can probably rewatch this again at some point. I'm not aching to see it again for a third time right now, but right now I can safely say that I probably judged it a little bit too harshly the first time that I watched it. It's not to say that the first time that I watched it, I didn't think this was a great movie directing wise, because it is. I just think that a majority of the things that I have problems with it is that it's the story and everything. The story I felt like could have been a little bit more fleshed out. The relationship, if they were going to go for that relationship between her and the creature, I feel like they could have delved a little bit more into it, I guess. But then again, I don't know. There's just something about that relationship where I'm just like, I get it. Again, I get it. I get the whole love is love thing, like I said. But I don't know. There's just something about it that just does not vibe with me 100%, as much as it did so many other people. When I bought the 4K at Disc Replay the other day, or like last week, the guy behind the counter said that it's like the only movie that's like legitimately made him cry. And I was like, that's great, man. I want to rewatch that, and I want to, have that kind of reaction to it. I just didn't for some reason. Do I think the movie is still a little bit overrated? Maybe. But, I mean, I do like it a little bit more than I thought I would. Do I think that it deserved Best Picture? Again, probably not. But, you know, you're not going to agree with everything that the Academy does. But, yeah. I mean, where I am right now with the movie, I think that is a gorgeously shot film with amazing cinematography, amazing acting too. Everybody in this movie was absolutely incredible. The music was fantastic. I think Alexandre Desplat is what his name is. If I mispronounce his name or completely butchered it, I'm so sorry. But he has done one of my other favorite soundtracks of all time, The Imitation Game with Benedict Cumberbatch, which is an absolute fantastic movie if you haven't seen that one yet. But coming back to The Shape of Water, like I said a couple times, I still think it's a little bit overrated, but you know, maybe my third watch will make me love it even more, and at some point I might think it's a freaking masterpiece at some point. I don't know, but you know, that's the genius of movies, though. You watch a movie so many times, and at first you might not love it so much, but then upon rewatch, and maybe upon rewatch, if you're willing, you know, to keep an open mind, you might think a movie is an absolute masterpiece. And I think every movie out there basically deserves at least a second, maybe third watch. Even if you didn't like the movie at first, you'll pick up on things the second, third, and so forth. And that's why I rewatch movies so much, is because I might love it at first, but then I'll continue to love it, or I might not like it at first, and then I'll continue, or I'll begin to appreciate the little things. And that's exactly what happened tonight. So, I mean, I guess that's the moral of the story for tonight. If you didn't love a movie or this specific movie at first, give it a rewatch. You might actually like it a lot more. So yeah, your homework for this week, if you're watching this, is to pick a movie that you didn't necessarily love at first, but you know, maybe you can learn to like it a little bit more. And as always, guys, thanks for watching.